We are now to do loops. And what are loops, by the way? A simple loop that you can think of, maybe something which just goes around in circles. Maybe you have uh, if you go to if you go to an entertainment park, you're going to be sitting in some of the rides which are going to loop you around, and maybe you come back to the same place, right? So those are loops. Okay, but what exactly is a loop in a programming language? Okay, say for example, you might want to do a statement multiple number of times. Okay, but you might want to do that statement, or you want to do those statements multiple number of times based on a particular condition. Okay, if that condition is done, you come out of the loop. Okay, so a loop is nothing but executing statements again and again when a condition is fulfilled. Okay, now coming to our point of where I say, okay, let me just make a new file, and I'll just start with one of the most famous loops that are there, or which are used. As loop is called as while loop. Okay, what does a while loop do? A while loop is nothing but, okay, I'll give you a simple example. I want to add one n number of times, and that n can be given by the user. Okay, so I can add one n number of times. So n, which means I need to take it from the user. How will I take it from the user? I need to tell him input, enter the number of time you want to add one. Okay, or you want to add one, and then give a small space. Okay, when you input the okay, you say that as a prompt, but then of course you need to store it as an int, and you need to equate it and store it in, let's say, n. Okay, so when you say this is n, okay, and then let me say, so your n can be anything. Now I need to start adding one with one n number of times. Okay, I need to add one with one n number of times. So let's say I'm going to start with something called as, I want to add, uh let me say I start with something. Let me make the sum as 0. Okay, so that means if he says I want 0 ones, which means the sum is going to be 0. If he says 1 1, he's going to add a 1 with the 0, it's going to be 1. If he says 2 ones, he needs to add to the sum, he needs to add 1 2 times. If he says 3 ones, he needs to add to the 0 1 3 times. Okay, so s is going to be 0. Also, at the same time, I will need a small counter variable which will keep checking, which will start from my first one, and will keep checking whether my and I you know I'll keep this counter to add a 1 to this n number of times. So this counter is going to start from 1. And where do you think this counter should go up till? This counter should go up till n, in order to in order to in order to make sure that you're adding a 1 to the sum when your I is less than or equal to n. So let me say, can I say something like this? Can I say, while I is less than or equal to n? Can I say something like this? While I is less than or equal to n, I can say I can say that s s plus or s plus equal to I. S plus equal to 1. Why? Why s plus equal to 1? Because s is the sum initially when you come inside. Okay, what is I? It is 1. And let's say the n was something like 100. So 100. So if 1 is less than or equal to 100, is it true or false? True. So while this is true, come inside. When you come inside, you're going to check. Okay, s plus equal to 1. What is your value of s now? 0. You add it with 1. So s plus 1, 0 plus 1, it is 1, and you put it back into s. And then you make the counter, as, yeah, counter plus equal to 1. So you can increase the counter, by 1. So in that way, the counter has increased by 1, and then again it goes into the while and checks what is your I. Okay, so now I need to come out of the while because my sum will be ready in S when it comes out of the loop. When will it come out of the loop? When your I will keep adding up till n. When it keeps adding up till n, and when it goes above n, this condition will become false and this statements will not be executed. So you have somewhere outside here, we're going to say, let's say, print. What should I print? What should I print? Okay, so I'm going to print sum of 1, until until whatever is the value that is going to be given by the user. Can I put it in curly braces and say 0? Until 0 is sum of 1 until 0. This, in place of this 0, I'm going to put a variable. I'm going to insert a variable. What is that variable? Sum of 1 until n is, and I'm going to insert another variable. I'm going to insert another variable which says what? Which says the sum. Okay, sum of 1 until n is what? Can I say it is going to be either it's going to be n comma, am I right? Yes. All right, so we just did see how to do the print function um, in Python 3, right? All right, so now I'm going to just save this out. So, and I'm going to say, I'll just put it in desktop, Python for IoT, and over here I'm going to say sum of 1, right? And then I say F5. Says enter the number of times you want to add 1. Okay, I want to add 100 times, which means, what does it say? Sum of 1 until string str object is not callable. Okay, what is this error? Sum of 1. Oh, I'm so sorry. I need to say dot format. I forgot. All right, dot format n comma s. All right, I'm so sorry. So if I say function f5, I'm just going to run it out. All right. So it says enter the number of times you want to add 100. Sum of 1 until 100 is 100. Yes. Hope you understood that. So it adds 100 times, and that is 100, of course. All right. So now instead of 1, if you wanted to add 5, the number of times, how many times ever you want. So I just need to change that 1 over here. That is sum plus equal to 5. And then I run it out. And then I say count, enter the number of times you want to add 5, not 1. If I say 100, it's going to be sum of 1 or sum of 5 until 100 is 500. Yes? Is that understood? Clear? Okay, so this is where while loop is going to be used for, as a particular, you can just use it out here. All right, now let's go for a little tougher problem, and we should be able to do that. Let's say I want to find out when the user enters a number, or let me do one thing. I want to print all the odd numbers. I want to print all the odd numbers till until a particular number, means it is going to be, I don't want to print all the odd numbers infinitely from 0. I want to print it from 0 till an upper limit which is going to be specified by the user. That means you need to tell the user enter what? enter the enter the range of odd numbers, not range, or enter the yeah, for now we'll just say range. Enter the range, maximum range of odd numbers you want, right? And then of course I have converted to an integer. Now what do I need to do? Of course I don't need the sum, s equal to 0 variable, I don't need that. Okay, I need to start with the odd numbers, right? I need an odd number, and I need to check for each of the numbers. So how do I check if it's an odd number? How do I check if it's an odd number? First of all, I need to see, first of all, I need to start from 0, or do I start from 1? Odd numbers, even numbers can start from 0. So I'm going to say 0 itself. I is going to be equal to 0. All right. And while I is less than equal to n, so that means when your I is 0, I need to check whether it is an odd number. If it is an odd number, I should print it. Then I should increment your I by 1, make it 1. Then I should check for, then Is your 1 less than n? Yes, your 1 is less than n, then it goes inside. Then you should check whether 1 is an odd number. If it is an odd number, that means if your I is an odd number, it will print that I. Is that clear? I will increment, it will become 2. When it becomes 2, it will check. First thing it will check is, it will check whether your I is less than equal to n. If it is less than equal to n, it will go inside. It will find out, okay, after going inside, it will check whether 2 or whether I is a odd number or an even number. So how do I check if I is an odd number or even number? Can I do if I modulus of 2 is equal to 0, which means it is an even or an odd number? It is an even number. So if it is an even number, but I don't want an even number, I want an odd number. So if it is an odd number, that means if it is not equal to 0, okay, so that means the remainder after dividing by, if it is, it can be either a 0 or a 1. So if it is a 1, that means if it is not equal to 0, can I print I? Can I print I? Yes, I can. I print I, and after printing I just of course I need to increment I. So I say I is equal to I plus 1, or you can even say I plus equal to 1. And after you come out, all right, that's it. So you're going to print all of these odd numbers from 0 to n. So let me say I run this program. So enter the maximum range of odd numbers you want. Let me say I want up till 100, or let me say 50. I want up to 50. Okay, so 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, 13, 15, 17, 19, 21, 23, up till 49. Yeah, so we have all the odd numbers you want. All right, now this is of course a simple application of a while loop. Okay, we're going to have a look at few more applications in the next session.